Now, I know that it seems like it may have been forever that we've been dealing with this open border crisis, but just go back in time to just 4 years ago. Just 4 years ago, we had the lowest number of illegal border crossings in 45 years. And it's because Donald Trump put into place 4 policies. Sounds like some of y'all may like Donald Trump. You know, he endorsed Liz Case. Four policies. Number one, remain in Mexico. Title 42, end, catch, and release, and build a border wall. Those 4 policies led to a dramatic drop in the number of illegal crossings. All that Joe Biden had to do was actually nothing. Leave it all in place, and the border would have remained secure. But remember this, in his early days as president, he signed executive orders that eliminated all the things that Trump put in place that led to a secure border. But even worse than that, what he has done is that he has ignored the laws of the United States of America. Remember what he told you and our fellow Americans just a few weeks ago. He needed Congress to pass more laws for him to be able to secure the border. Either A, he was lying to you, B, he had no idea what he was talking about, or C, all of the above. There you go. It's unanimous. He had no clue, but you're going to have a clue. I'm going to tell you because I'm going to arm you with information that you can leave here today and tell your friends and neighbors and coworkers. If anybody ever doubts you about this, there are 3 laws passed by Congress already on the books that Joe Biden inherited. One law requires his administration to deny illegal entry by anybody trying to cross the border illegally. He's not denying illegal entry. He's aiding and abetting illegal entry into the United States of America. Second law requires the president's administration to detain anybody who crosses the border illegally. He's not detaining them. He's setting them loose to go free and commit crimes like the horrific crime to the woman who was a nursing student at the University of Georgia in Athens, Texas. That woman should be alive today. She's dead because of policies that Joe Biden has put into place. The third law on the books as we speak right now, passed by Congress, requires Joe Biden's administration to build border barriers to stop or prevent or hinder illegal entry. He hasn't lifted a finger to build border barriers. The only thing that he's done is work to tear down the barriers that the Lone Star State has put up. It is offensive and it's wrong. And when you look at the sheer number of people coming across the border, now more than 9 million people coming across the border illegally. When you look at the number of people who've lost their lives, you look at the fact that the Texas Department of Public Safety, they have arrested people who were wanted for murder. They have arrested people who immigrated here illegally and committed murder. And then think of all the people who are on the known terrorist watch list who've been apprehended. And then think about those who paid more to not get caught and were not apprehended, who are on the terrorist watch list. These are dangerous times, and because of the imminent danger that we face, because Joe Biden is not enforcing the laws, because we are, in fact, facing an invasion, that's exactly why I declared under Article 1, Section 10 of the United States Constitution, Texas is being invaded, and we will defend ourselves from this invasion. So, let me tell you what we're doing. One thing that we're doing is Texas is the only state in American history to build our own border wall. We did not reinvent the wheel here. We're using the exact same wall that Donald Trump put up in the state of Texas, with this being the only difference. And that is, when you look at the amount of wall that Texas has already put up, as well as the amount that is under construction, Texas is building more of the Trump border wall in Texas than Donald Trump built in the state of Texas. Second, do y'all remember those big orange buoys that we put into the Rio Grande River? So those were designed by the Border Patrol because they are designed to be effective to deny illegal entry into our country. And Biden wouldn't use them, but I would. I put them into the river, and what do you think happened? Joe Biden filed a lawsuit to try to put a stop to it. That lawsuit is tied up in the Federal Court of Appeals right now, but also as I join with you in Abilene, Texas tonight, those buoys remain in the Rio Grande River right now. The third thing is the incredible work being done by the men and women of the Texas National and State Guard. Give it up for our tremendous Guard and what they're doing. In the Rio Grande Valley area, there's this large island that is owned by the state of Texas. It's an island in the river and halfway between Mexico and Texas. And was chock full of cane and trees and brush, packed tighter than you all in your seats here. And it had been ignored for a long time. The cartels took over this island that belonged to Texas. They used it as a stash location to stash migrants that were trying to bring across the border, as well as drugs. And then when they got the clearance, they would take it from the island into the state of Texas. I told the National Guard, I want you to go seize that island, take over control, and rid it of all drug cartel activity. The first thing they did is they used bulldozers to move dirt and land from Texas out to the island, so it was a land bridge. Once they had the land bridge built, then they used those bulldozers to bulldoze down everything on that island. So there was no obstruction to cartel activity, and it was as clear as the floor that we're on tonight. They cleared out everything with only one thing remaining. The only thing standing on that island is the flag of the great state of Texas. One other thing, they did rim it with military-grade razor wire to make sure neither cartels nor illegal immigrants would ever be able to get on that island again. And that's what one main thing the National Guard are doing. They have now built more than 100 miles of razor wire border barrier that truly does deny illegal entry into the United States. And they've turned back more than 100,000 people to Mexico because they could not get across into the United States. And it frustrated Biden so much, Biden ordered his Border Patrol agents to go in and cut the wire that Texas had laid that was denying illegal entry. The lower courts sided with us, but Biden appealed to the Supreme Court. Supreme Court, to be honest, didn't issue a decision on it. They just sent it back down to the Fifth Circuit, but there was great misunderstanding about what was going on. And I wanted to make sure that Texans and Americans knew what we were doing. So I did not go and tell the National Guard to double down on what they were doing. I told the National Guard, I want you to triple the amount of razor wire that you are putting on our border. And then you saw how we seized that park. Same thing happened there. That park is in Eagle Pass, Texas. Eagle Pass, Texas had been ground zero for illegal immigration. You would have 3,000, 4,000, sometimes 5,000 or 6,000 people crossing a day. And they were crossing in this park. And that park, it's not federal land. It's not. It was an area where the Border Patrol and the Biden administration, they were using to put a whole bunch of illegal immigrants together. By the way, they were doing so illegally in the United States, and then send them off to wherever they were sending them off to. I told the National Guard, I want you to seize that 50-acre park and wire it shut from illegal immigration and wire it shut from the Biden administration. And that's exactly what they did. So as I told you before, that there were thousands of people crossing that area a day. For the past 7 days, there's been an average of not 1,000, not 100, not a dozen, but an average of 7 people crossing a day. And most of them were arrested by the Texas Department of Public Safety. In fact, I'm going to make you real happy because we've been so successful. Gavin Newsom is complaining about. That's almost like getting the New York mayor to complain about me. But Gavin Newsom's complaining for a different reason. Listen, if you look at the border from the Gulf of Mexico to the Pacific Ocean, Texas geographically represents about 2/3 of the length of that border. For year 1 and maybe year 2 of the Biden administration, we were getting at least 2/3, if not more than 2/3 of the people crossing illegally because we were so much closer to the center part of Mexico. Now, however, because of what the National Guard has been doing and others, about 70% of the people crossing the border are crossing in California or Arizona. It just shows that the drug cartels have learned what everybody in this room has said for many times, and that is, don't mess with Texas.